Just over 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter. The Buffaloes will bring one forward. It's Gonzalez again with it. Jake Gonzalez was a first-team All-American last year after transferring from Drexel University, which is an NCAA Division I school. Passes one off here to McElveny. McElveny tries a shot. That one,
it's off the top.
Yeah, it hit the post that time, and ASU can come away with it. Mathian wants to run through the midfield, struggling to pick it up. Now he does. He's got Carrasco to his right, gives it up instead. Here's a shot. That one goes just wide. That was a shot from a long stick midfielder. I think that was Zach Long letting it go that time, the senior.
It was, and that was excellent defense by Colorado to block that shot before it could get to the goalie.
The Buffaloes will come forward with it. Much more back and forth this afternoon than we've seen in previous ASU games, and now they force a turnover. That was some great riding that time by Alex Roca on the far side. The defensive midfielder wins possession for ASU.
Yeah, like you were saying, this is definitely a faster-paced game than ASU has been playing and really has liked to play all season, but it seems to be working out for them as they're playing really well so far. 2-0 lead over number 2 Colorado.
ASU sets up in the offensive box again. Jake Marthins takes his time with it. Marthins looking around. Gives it behind the net. It's Rhett Rogers with it. Rogers, one of the leading ASU attackmen, turning with it, using his size to protect the ball. Avoids a couple stick checks before finally passing it off. Here's Emerson Roth, turning on the left side. Gives it back to the top of the box, Carrasco. To the near side of Ben Paredes. Back to Marthins here. Marthins sniffing the goal. Shoots one, and that time it was a save by Makarov, denying Marthins what would have been his 10th goal of the season. ASU has possession, though. They were the one closest to it when it went out of play. Still turning with it, getting one right in front, and it's another goal for ASU. That time it was Tommy Carrasco who got knocked down, but scored from his knees to put the Sun Devils ahead 3 in the opening quarter.
And now last game, was that Tommy Carrasco last game who scored from his knees?
Yes, I believe it was.
I believe it was. So he's got 2 of those. Really impressive work, staying composed, and that's a lot of times is a composed head scoring that goal. Great goal by Tommy Carrasco.
Well, last year,
feeling good right now, 3-0.
Last year, Carrasco only had 16 goals on the whole season. He's already got 7 through just over 4 games played in that offensive midfielder role. A good start. Sun Devils, as we mentioned, 6:19 to go in the opening quarter, and a 3-0 lead on the second country.
Yeah, though he's not on attack, he's definitely big for the ASU offense, as he was probably the offensive midfielder last season.
Well, it was Driscoll at the face-off dot again, but he loses this one. Colorado. It's Reno with it. Now he loses the ball. Battle ensues in the ASU end. Still loose. Nathan Blair trying to get there for the Sun Devils. He does, and he picks up the ground ball. The junior defenseman stops with it, and ASU's going to win possession here. Jeff Sanchez has it. He gives it to Trevor Driscoll. The face-off man slings one up the field to Bradway. Ryan Bradway stops, trying to get around a defender as ASU gets it in the offensive box. Bradway running to his left, comes back, gives it to Driscoll. A nice handed catch that time by the face-off man. He uses that short face-off stick. Driscoll checks out here as ASU sets up their offense. They bring in their offensive weapons. Brendan Rogers comes in and catches the pass. He's got Schuler to his left. Passes it to him. ASU taking their time. Rogers on the right side. Looking for a shooting lane. Cuts to his right. Into the middle, but he was looking for the centering pass. That time it was intercepted by Nick Cottrell for the Buffalo. Cottrell has to avoid a couple ASU defenders before passing it on. Ball's on the ground for a minute before being picked up by McDonald. McDonald avoids a Rogers stick check and gets Colorado away on the offensive end. Turning with it, here's Escueda. Carter Escueda, the junior attackman. Up behind the net. Trying to get one in front here, the Buffaloes. Nothing doing that time.
Colorado seems to be doing what they've been doing all game, which is really trying to force it inside. I think they should try to move it around. They need to maintain possession. That's been their problem so far this game, and that's why they're down right now.
Here's a shot. That one goes just wide. That was let go by Davis Barker. Well, really, the only 2 great chances the Buffaloes have had were those 2 shots McDonald had from close range. Another shot going wide that time was Hannon. It'll go out of bounds and stay with the Buffaloes. But a much stronger defensive effort here from ASU, especially about needing to start better. Here's another shot attempt that goes just wide, and ASU can pick up the loose ball.
Leedy's also having a great game so far. He has a few kick saves, which is really impressive. How fast the ball's coming at him. Great reflexes.
2 or 3 saves for Perliti, and none of them have been with his.
That was a risky pass right there.
But it gets to Kendall Griffin, the midfielder from Basha High School in Chandler. He'll run off the field as ASU will again on offense. They have a 3-goal lead here, 3:35 to go in the opening quarter, and they're sniffing for like that. Sun Devils will pass it around. It looks like the midfield trio of Carrasco, Parietti, and Bradway are back in the.
Now we see ASU with a different approach on offense with Rogers in the middle. He's usually behind the net, but they have him in the middle here. We'll see how that works out for him.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that on Thursday night when they had Bradway behind the net.
Mm-hmm.
It worked better, especially late in that game when ASU finished on a 5-0 run, and they're going to start as Rhett Rogers has ASU's 4th goal of the opening quarter to go ahead 4-0 of the Buffaloes here.
And ASU is riding an offensive hot streak, like you said, technically in the last 2 games. So really, really impressive for ASU thus far as they're jumped off to a good start.
Yeah, well, the first 3 quarters of that game on Thursday night were probably marked by sloppy play and missed opportunities. But now in that 4th quarter against the Rams and the opening quarter here against the Buffaloes, as you mentioned, unanswered goals for the Sun Devils between the two. And probably the best we've seen them play overall so far this season.
Absolutely. The thing they're doing different is just it's simple. It's opportunities as Colorado turns it over. It's creating opportunities. They really haven't done that offensively. A lot of great looks on net, and now they really seem, like I said, urgency. I mean, it's not that hard, and I think they're realizing that now, and they're playing really well.
Well, I think one of the telling stats regarding that, Rhett Rogers was their leading scorer last year at 25 goals. This year, coming into today, he only had. And he does other things on the field, but again, it's that missing production, especially from their big attackmen. He kind of defined ASU's early struggles this year. Not the case today as they lead the Buffaloes 4-0 with 2:20 to go in the opening quarter.